It's very early days yet, but one or two upsets at this early stage. Grand champion Takanohana has taken one loss, as has the other Yokozuna, Musashimaru, and Ozeki, Jiotai and Kaio have also taken a loss apiece. But despite the loss, the grand champion Takanohana not looking too bad. Of course, if the losses mount up, let's say he gets to about day 5, 6, 7, and he's got 4 losses or so, which is too much for a grand champion, he'll probably be told to pull out and retire. So he's fighting for his survival here as a Yokozuna. He's got to do well in this tournament. Doesn't necessarily have to win it, but he has to do well. Well, that's an earlier photograph of him that was taken a year ago when he won a basho. And this is the Yokozuna Dohyo Eri. And there we see Takanohana in the middle, accompanied by fellow stablemates Takanonami. To his right, holding the sword, he's known as the Tachimochi. And to his left by Akinoshima. Well, on to our first bout of day 3. It's between the 30-year-old Wakanoyama and 24-year-old Ushiomaru. Wakanoyama at 159 kilos. Ushiomaru considerably heavier at 117. Ushiomaru seems to have got the older wrestler on the run a bit, but he's sticking to him. This is one of the qualities of sumo nibari. It's known as sticking close to your opponent, come what may. They say if the opponent slaps your face in sumo or pushes the heel of his hand into your face or your throat, you never retire, you just stick your face out even more. Always you move forward. So Wakanoyama wins that one. 3 straight wins for him. Now Akinoshima, the man who we just saw as part of Takanohana's ring entering ceremony here against Tamakasuga. They fought 23 times and Akinoshima's won 15 of them, but not that one. The last 3 bashos, Akinoshima's got makikoshi, that's to say more losses than wins, so he's getting close to demotion down to Juryo, the next division down. And he said that if he does get demoted there, he'll quit. But let's see. Plenty of time yet in this tournament. Kyokushuzan now, the Mongolian. He's got 1 win, 1 loss. Fights Tokitsuumi, who's got 2 losses. Kyokushuzan comes out 2 hands to the shoulders. Doesn't seem to be able to get his grip. Well, tries a snap move there. Then locks on the belt, but Tokitsuumi's pushing him a bit. Looks slippery for the Mongolian. Should be the same for both of them, but he's the one who's sliding. Tokitsuumi tries that outside leg hook, the sorogake. Well, Kyokushuzan's got, he's limping a bit there. He had a pretty poor basho last time, only had 1 win. Well, you can see the leg hook that Tokitsuumi tries, but not a lot of effect. Kyokushuzan trying that lifting turning move. The uwatenage had the overarm grip with his left arm. So 2nd win for Kyokushuzan and some prize money. 3rd straight loss for Tokitsuumi. Hokutoriki fights Daizen. They fought once before. Daizen won that one, so let's see. Daizen can keep that winning streak going, but it's Hokutoriki now who evens the score up. Pushes Daizen out with oshidashi. Somewhat subdued bout there. Daizen not getting into it too much. Now Kasuganishiki, newcomer, 144 kilos body weight, Buyuzan, some 20 kilos heavier. The Buyuzan comes out hard, drops his head, cracks it in towards Kasuganishiki's face, keeps him on the run, and then he overreached himself. It's ironic actually, he was the other day he was saying, Buyuzan, that it's no good doing good sumo, you have to keep moving forward. Well, that's to be sure, but you can't move forward too fast because the other wrestler takes advantage of it. So third straight win for Kasuganishiki. Tamanoshima, Jewel Island fights 5 Towers. Gojoro, they've never fought before. Well, full start there. Don't see so much of these corrections now by the referee. Either the wrestlers have improved their starts, or maybe they're not too fussed. So look much the same as the previous tachiai. Well, it's Gojoro loses that one. Tamanoshima pushes him out with oshidashi. Oshidashi, of course, very high-scoring technique after yorikiri. Yorikiri probably the main scorer. After that, oshidashi. Well, Kotomitsuki, this is the man who in March this year broke his jaw doing sumo. Then previous basho, we had a steel bolt in it. Didn't seem to stop him particularly. And here against Takanowaka, who seems to be punishing that face. Well, there's a slap down. Didn't stop Kotomitsuki trying hard, though. I guess his jaw must be okay. Quite a lot of slaps and a push down there from Takanowaka. And Kotomitsuki bites the dust, so interrupts his winning streak. 2 wins and 1 loss now for Kotomitsuki. Same result now for Takanowaka. Well, this is fusen show, sometimes called fusen gachi. Win by default. Should have been Tochisakae coming out, but his leg's bad. It's inflamed, infected, and Aminishiki gets the win. Tochinonada. It's Tosanoumi. Tosanoumi, heavy wrestler. Well, he looks heavier than he is, actually. He's 160 kilos, but he looks bigger. It's a very, I was going to say even start, but Tosanoumi actually crossed the line ahead of Tochinonada, pushing him back towards the edge of the ring. Of course, the wrestler with his back to the edge of the ring, his fighting area diminishes, whereas the opposing wrestler's got all of the ring behind him in which he can recover if necessary. So Tochinonada driven to the edge and then over it by Tosanoumi. 3 straight wins now for Sekiwaki ranked wrestler Tosanoumi. Another Sekiwaki ranked wrestler, Wakanosato. He had a good tournament last time, he had 11 wins. Miyabiyama had 6 wins last time. Well, Miyabiyama will be fairly rough with the slaps and the pushes to the throat and the face, but Wakanosato just got hit a little bit too low on the chest. That pushed him up, floated him up a bit from that diving lunge of Miyabiyama's, and Wakanosato crossed the line first. So win there, second win for Miyabiyama. Now Kaio, he's had 1 loss so far. He's got a bad hip, it's been with him, he's had it for a long time. Sometimes it affects his basho performances, sometimes it doesn't. He had to drop out the last basho due to an arm injury, but he handles Toki there without too much trouble. Yorikiri win for Kaio, that's his second win, second loss for Toki. Well, it's certainly an interesting basho, what with the return of Takanohana, Ushiomaru looking a lot bigger. New Mongolian wrestler coming in, Chiotakai on form. Sumo's perking up quite a bit these days. Now we have Chiotakai, who's also getting over his bad boy image. Settling down now, and fights Kotoryu. These two have met 5 times previously. Chiotakai's won 3 of them. So Chiotakai doesn't really get going with his charge, but almost from The standstill, he manages to motor forwards and drive Kotoryu out. So there's the start of it. But as you can see, the charge doesn't really get going, but then he recovers and then he starts moving. Very powerful legs. So important in sumo, this daiashi it's called, is moving forward with the legs as you're pushing, as you're using the arms. Most of the wins are gained by shoving the opponent out of the ring, so it's the legs that do the work. Backed up, of course, by the arms. Now, Mongolian Asashoryu against Takanonami. They fought 7 times. Asashoryu's won 5 of them. He's about 40 kilos lighter than Takanonami. He can be very rough. He can do a lot of face slapping and thrusting. He's also got some of those Mongolian techniques, the leg grabs. So that was the penultimate crouch down. Now they're coming up for the real one. Salt gets chucked in. Shiomaki, they call it. Right, Takanonami is on form. He's not doing too badly so far. Full start, though, from the tall man. He's the tallest Rikishi in this top division, 1 meter 97 centimeters tall. Well, Asashoryu is not going for the slaps, he's going for the body, and now he tries a twist round. Well, that's a new one. You don't often see that. It was like doing, actually it's almost like a judo shoulder throw. He spun round as if he was going for the arm, but he kept on spinning. It's also like a wrestling move, actually. You see that in Olympic wrestling as well. So there you see, there it goes, round and a twist. And that's enough to drop Takanonami down. So that's one of the 12 new techniques that were adopted not so long ago, known as the Shingi. And it's called, that particular technique, it's called Tsutai-zori. So, nice to see some new techniques coming. Quite interesting that Asashoryu there didn't go for his usual rough slaps to the face and the throat. Quite confident of beating Takanonami just on the belt. Well, Takanahana looks like he's meditating there, but Ushiomaru said not so long ago when he was accused of sleeping when in that position, he said, believe me, the last thing you do is sleep when you've got a bout coming up. So now we have Takami Sakari, Musoyama. They've never fought before. Takami Sakari, relative newcomer. He came into Makuuchi Sumo about 2 years ago, but of course he was lower down the ranks and wouldn't have met Musoyama, who's towards the top. Well, Musoyama there used his superior weight. He's some 40 kilos heavier than Takami Sakari, and squashed him down at the end there with yoritaoshi, force down, as opposed to yorikiri, which is force out. Well, Takami Sakari is not having a good basho. He's had 3 straight losses so far. The Gyoji and the Obidashi, they call out the name of the grand champion. He's getting tremendous applause and support from the audience here. They're willing him on. It's almost, you could almost say it's Takanahana's basho. Come what may, it'll be known as his basho. Now he's fighting Shimotori. Shimotori, 147 kilos, just a couple of kilos lighter than the Yokozuna. They've never met. Shimotori's had 2 good bashos before. He had 9 wins in the last basho, the one before that. He had 10 wins. Well, you can see he's the grand champion, is great favourite of the women out here in Japan. Well, Shimotori, he's an exciting new one, quite sort of lively sumo, but I can't really think he's going to be much of a match for the Yokozuna, even in his recovery phase from his knee injury. Well, they go through all the rituals. The referee's fan points forward, so it's into the belt. Takanahana's got the belt, and there he disposes of Shimotori without much ado. Big mistake. Shimotori should have kept the Yokozuna's hand away from the belt in the past. That was absolutely fatal. You had to block that arm somehow. Not that it did an awful lot of good most of the time, because he's pretty good at getting that hand in position. So Shimatori takes his third straight loss, and that was second win for Takanohana. Well, let's watch that one again. There's the hand, the overarm grip, and there's the overarm throw. Well, that was a lesson to the younger, less experienced Rikishi. Now we have the other grand champion. Well, Musashimaru's taken a loss, as has Takanohana. Seems to be fairly focused. Kyokutenho, he was the man who beat Takanohana. See if he can do the giant killing axe again. Goes out for the throat, but Musashimaru wraps his huge arms round, uses Tamakso, and Musashimaru wins that one fairly easily. Well, looking strong, has to be said. Doesn't look too sleepy. Sometimes gives the impression of being mentally elsewhere. But he's got a relaxed attitude, I think, Musashimaru, to sumo. He'll not too fussed if he turns in a sort of below average performance. And he doesn't have many injuries, so he could survive for quite a long time. Well, there you see, at the end of day 3, we've got Asashoryu and Tosanoumi with 3 straight wins. In fact, there's a clutch of wrestlers, although they won't be in the reckoning at the end. And Takanohana, this is all everybody's interested in. How is he going to do? Stay with us. We'll be back with day 4.